where, look, 2 weeks in a row. I'm killing it, y'all. I'm killing it.
It's gonna be so dumb.
I guess we could start this the way that a lot of these videos have started. Hi, my name is Jen and I have ADHD. It's kind of one of my things, you know, like the gay thing and the being absolutely adorable thing. One of the biggest questions I get in relation to ADHD is regarding medication. And I've been in the game long enough to know that there's not one right answer in terms of whether or not to medicate. What works for some people doesn't necessarily work for other people. But I've been on a journey recently regarding my own medication, and I would like to share some of that with you because it is a saga of sorts, and it's not all great. So, a little backstory. I had been on Adderall for over 10 years, probably closer to like 13 or 14 years. So after being on Adderall for that long, something really was not feeling okay anymore. I was feeling extremely depressed and unwell, I guess. Granted, I'm pretty much always depressed and unwell, but this was significantly different. So I talked to my doctor, and she prescribed me a new medication that was new to the market called My Day Is. There was instant progress. Like, on paper, I was not doing great. I had just gone through a breakup. I was unemployed. I just had been so depressed. Like, it did not look like I should be doing okay, and yet I felt more emotionally and mentally stable than I had in, like, recent memory. Like, I couldn't remember the last time I felt that good. This next portion is what I like to refer to as a series of events in which the universe teases Jen with all of these wonderful things and then just takes them away again. The good part, I got a new job. The bad part, I got new hours, which meant I actually had to change doctors. Have you ever tried to find a half-decent mental health care provider? Because it is not easy. That's a whole video in and of itself. And I was doing this while my supply of magic pills was dwindling. The good, I found a new doctor who would refill my prescription. The bad, suddenly my insurance wasn't covering it anymore. The good, insurance was willing to help me find a workaround, provided that my doctor gave me permission and filled out a couple of forms. The bad, my doctor insisted on getting some old records which were impossible to access. The good, I somehow managed to navigate a very scary conference call with 4 people from the insurance company and all of the other people related to this workaround, all while going through withdrawal. The bad, I found out that even with the workaround from insurance, even with permission from my doctor, it was still going to cost me over $200 a month to get this prescription. That's not possible. That's just not something, that's the money I use to nourish myself. The good, I took initiative, I did some research, and I found out that there was actually still a way for me to get this medication for free, provided that my doctor filled out some different special forms. The bad, after months of trying and working with her, she refused to fill out the forms, and that's when I found out, after all these months, that she doesn't really like to prescribe medication to patients with ADHD. She'll prescribe more anxiety meds, which is what she did with me, but she would not fill out these forms because she doesn't like to prescribe ADHD medication. So yeah, I dumped her. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I had been on Adderall for over 10 years. And amid all the back and forth, the endless phone calls, the research, the doctor's appointments, I was also dealing with withdrawal. I was withdrawn, no pun intended. I was unbelievably emotional. I was irritable. I was very physically ill. I slept all the time. I wasn't eating. I couldn't cook for myself or like clean up after myself. I was incapable of doing really anything aside from going to work and coming home. I don't actually really remember a lot of what I was like per se because it was such a hard situation for me to be in. I was sort of just going moment to moment. Well, there is a happy ending to this story. I mean, I cried a lot. Primarily alone in my room, also just in front of my roommates because I couldn't handle my shit, but also in my PCP's office. And that's where things started getting better for me because they were willing to fill out the forms for me and I was able to submit them to the pharmaceutical company. There are a lot of words that I have to express the feeling that I had when I realized that I was going to be able to continue taking the medication that made me feel like me. But I'm going to show you the exact effect it had on me in the moment that I found out the news. I just received in the mail a letter approving me getting an assistance program to be able to get a new med for my ADHD that I had been on and then my insurance stopped covering. And it has been 4
4 or 5 months of me trying to get this med and not being on it and not feeling great, and this one really makes me feel a lot better. I just got approved, and I'm so happy because I've been trying to get this medication for months. And now I have it, well, I will have it again for an entire year. I don't have to worry about paying for it. I don't have to worry about anything but going to my doctor, getting her to get me the prescription, and getting this medication. And it improved my life so much when I was on it. And things have been a lot harder since I had to stop taking it. And yeah, so it shouldn't be this hard to get medicine that you need. And I shouldn't have to cry tears of joy when it's taken me 5 months to get it. So yeah, get my meds.
I know I need medication. The past year has reinforced that for me. If I'm being honest, that scares me a lot. I don't ever want to feel ashamed or insecure about the fact that I need medication. Every brain is different, and a lot of people can just go without medication, and that's amazing. But my particular brand of brain, that being the brain of Jen, that has ADHD, anxiety, depression, PTSD, etc., it can't. That doesn't stop me from feeling icky and self-conscious about the fact that I turned into a human potato without my meds this year. But also, it's really hard to need something in a country where access to that something, i.e. efficient medical and mental health care, is incredibly hard to get. First, there's realizing that you need medication and overcoming all of the shame and stigmas that come along with that recognition. And then you have to actually figure out what meds work for you. But the forms, the obstacles, the walls that were constantly being put in front of me by the insurance company, my doctors, the social stigma, it made it almost completely impossible for me to get what I needed. Not to mention the fact that in order to jump through all those hoops and bust down those walls, I needed the medication that I was being denied left and right. I'm sharing this story because I want you to know a few things. Number one, it's okay to need medication, and it's okay to not feel totally okay with that. Number two, if something doesn't feel right, change it. Even if it's scary, even if it results in one of the hardest years of your life with some nasty, nasty withdrawal symptoms. Because I'm here making videos again, and that is 100% due to the fact that I changed my meds in the first place. Number three, it's not just you. The whole system is fucked, and we need to do something to change it. Make sure you're registered to vote. Do you have any meds stories? Do you take meds? Do you not take meds? How do you feel about that? Leave some comments in the comments section below, or just say hi. Also, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring that little bell so you can get notifications. I put out videos every Tuesday. Some of them are about stuff like this. Some of them are a lot more dumb. Some of them are, I don't know, because I only just restarted. It's gonna be a great time. All right, I love you. Bye! Well, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna eat some strawberries, some chips,